This is Dick, WB2JPQ. I'm here along with Jeff, K8. Yeah, Vicky, K8BKY, I should say. And Jeff, KE0GKF. Not used to working with Jeff on Friday mornings, but I switched, so I'm on Friday along with Jeff. Wow, we got a whole list of text check-ins this morning. We read them off here this morning. We got Roy, K8BYU. We got Wayne, KC2NJV. K8UFM. KM7C, KM7CGI. DK4BYF. N3DQD. KE2EDS. W9QJQ. KD9YUZ. K1MCO. Did I read K1MCO? Screen just jumped. There we go. Screen just did a jump on me this morning. KI4EQ, EGQ, E3XTD, KM4WZD, Joe in Claremont, W3CVE, KF8EBV, KB3EYR, KD2YUY, KC5CZX, good morning, Joe, N1CBM, Carlos is up early, and KI6KQO, Zachary in Kissimmee, Florida. All right, do I have any mobiles this morning? Do I have any mobiles like to get in here? Mobiles going to workplace school. Mobiles twice. This is Dick, WB2JPQ.
Kilo in and out is pulling up to work.
Kilo Zulu Zulu, KK4 KZZ mobile.
Juliet 5, Golf Uniform Yankee. Kilo Juliet 5, Golf Uniform Yankee, mobile.
Whiskey 9, Alpha Mike Tango, Indianapolis. Tony in Indianapolis, mobile. No traffic.
And 2ZDF. Good morning.
KJ5, MLZ, Kilo Juliet 5, Mike Lima Zulu.
Let me tell you what I got. I know we missed some up at the front. It was like first round had at least 6 people, maybe 7, calling in at once. KJ5MLZ, N2ZVN, W9AMT, KZ4JN, KJ5GUY, KK4KZZ. Who did we miss? Mobiles only.
Kilo Oscar 4, Whiskey Delta Foxtrot, KO4, WDF, Lee, in and out, just pulled into work.
W4PPX, W4PPX mobile.
Good morning, Don. I'll get to you in a minute. We got Lee, KO4WDF, was in and out. He's just pulling into work. Let me go up to KK4KZZ. Our question this morning, might have to think a little bit, a little open-ended. One thing you must have when buying a new car. One thing you must have when buying a new car. Obviously, we're not looking for the ridiculous things like motor and tires. And we're looking for maybe heated seats or a sunroof. Backup camera, I think, will be a big one. Things like that. So, one thing you must have when buying a new car. One thing you must have when buying a new car. Maybe a little bit of thought has to go into it this morning. Let's go to KK4KZZ. Good morning. Let's start out in Gainesville, Florida here this morning.
Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. We made it. I know it sounds silly, and it's actually very serious. I would say where I live in Florida, air conditioning, it's a must. There's a lot of other little features, but without air conditioning, it's a little uncomfortable to drive around in Florida. So I'm going to start with that. And I hope everyone has a great weekend. I know I'm going to have a busy weekend, so I'll send it back to Net. Have a great weekend, everybody. KK4KZZ.
Air conditioning it is. Absolutely. I don't think anybody want to get along without air conditioning. I do remember those days. I didn't mention it, but it's Friday. We will be doing the second cup following Jeff's segment. Second cup at 10 o'clock this morning. Good morning to Guy, KJ5GUY.
And morning, everybody to Brew Crew, 7-3s. This is KJ5GUY down here in the Walls metro area. Today's question, that's a good one. Air conditioning would be a must down here. Definitely in southeast Louisiana. I would say definitely we have to have air conditioning. Yeah, mark me up for that one. Everybody have a great morning, and TGIF to everyone. KJ5 Golf Uniform Yankee, back unit control. Laissez le bon temps rouler.
Thank you, Guy. You have a nice weekend. William from Minneapolis, W9 AMT was in and out Mobile this morning. William, you have a nice day. Our friend Alan in Kendall, New York, N2ZBN. Good morning, Alan.
Hi, good morning, Dick. Everyone, Brew. Well, that was an easy question for me, I'll tell you. I don't own it yet, but my next new one will. Heated steering wheel for my arthritic hands. This time of year, I'd be greatly appreciated. Everyone have a great weekend. And to ZVN back net.
At the top of my list, too, Alan. Heated steering wheel. Yes, sir. Nothing like it. There was a gentleman at work that had one years and years back. And we kind of laughed about it. But, boy, when I got mine, all bets were off. KJ5MLZ. What about you?
KJ5MLZ. Good morning, Dick, Becky, and rest of the crew. Everybody on frequency. Man, I'm like Guy over there in Harvey, Louisiana. I must say air conditioning. Southeast Louisiana is brutal in the summertime. Hope everyone have a great day. This is KJ5MLZ. Clear.
Another one for air conditioning. How about you, Andres? KZ4JN. Good morning.
Good morning. I hope everyone is having a great day. It is actually a little cooler here today. I would say that I consider the air conditioning a standard thing, not an option, so I'm going to disregard that one. One of the things that I really do love in cars is the adaptive cruise control. That is one of those things that if I had a choice, I would definitely pick the vehicle that has that because I travel so far. I hope everyone has a great day and an even better weekend. So Kilo Zulu 4, Juliet November, sending it back to you, Dick.
You are kind of right on the air conditioning. All right, we got you down for cruise. Lee, KE04WTF was in and out Mobile this morning. Lee, in Georgia, you have a very nice weekend. Last Mobile is Don. What are you doing out so early, Don? W4PPX.
Looking for pedestrians to run over. Good morning, Dick. Answer to the question, besides the obvious, a lot of money. My girlfriend's car has got some kind of front-end braking on it, so if somebody walks in front of her car and she's starting to pull out, or one of these kids on these electric scooters turns in front of her, auto brakes, pretty good idea to have.
Hope you have a great day up there. It's nice and about 66 down here this morning, sunny. Have a good day, Dick. Back to time control.
Thank you, Don. We got 43 degrees outside the cabin here this morning. Let me go up, work some of these text check-ins this morning. We'll go up to Roy, K8BYU, in Blaisdell, New York. Good morning, Roy.
Good morning, Dick. Everybody on the brew, KA8BYU. Well, speaking of somebody who sold cars for about 6-7 months before I got into working at the airport and that, one thing you must have is decent credit. You wouldn't believe the people I saw that came in there trying to buy cars with next to no or horribly bad credit.
Oh, I'm sure of that, Roy. Yeah, I'm sure of that. I was at a car dealer not too long ago, and the car salesman says, well, what can you afford a month? You know, it's not what the car or anything costs, it's what can you afford? You know, we'll work the deal around you. Pretty funny how things have changed over the years. Good morning, Dwayne, KC2NJV.
Good morning, Dick, and the rest of the crew. KC2NJV here. Truthfully, I just need to be able to get in and out of the car easily, and to fit my upper torso, because I have a little bit longer upper torso. Other than that, it's a car. I don't really care. Have a great weekend.
All right. One of the things I think of is backup cameras. When your old neck gets stiff and it doesn't want to go around 365 anymore, man, those backup cameras are certainly a must. Good morning to Randall, K8UFM.
Good morning, Dick. Good morning, Vicki, and good morning to everyone on frequency. Me, it would be a truck, and when I get my truck, it's with a second alternator and a second battery, so I can power all the electronics and radios that I install in them. And with that said, this is K8UFM, back to net control, and everyone have an outstanding day.
Oh, second battery and alternator. Back in the old high current days, some of the old Motorola's, oh my lord, was dynamotor power supplies. You had to step on the gas and turn the lights off and squeeze the mic button real hard to get about 15 watts out of a radio. The good old days. Larry, KM7CGI, good morning.
Waking up to a very cold day out here in the desert, 47 degrees. But one thing I must have, take a lot of road trips, so we need to have that adaptive smart cruise control. K7CGI, back to the net.
Another one for cruise control. Thanks, Larry. Bob, VK4BYF.
Good morning to the brew crew and everybody out there. Well, we've had 39, 38 degrees C temperatures here, which is about 100 to 102 Fahrenheit. Besides good air conditioning, we need really good window tinting to keep the burn of the sun out. So good window tinting.
Tinting. First one for that category. Good morning to Ray in Beaver, Pennsylvania, N3DQD.
Well, the repeater just came up again. N3DQD. Well, Dick, I'll tell you, I have co-signed for a number of vehicles, but what I would want is to have won the lottery and have someone to drive it whenever I want to go somewhere. Back to net. This is N3DQD.
would be nice, wouldn't it? Thanks, Ray. You'll have a nice day and a nice weekend. Mark in Elma, New York, AE2EDS. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Vicky and the rest of the crew. I'm going to say heated seats. I like the defrosting mirrors, but heated seats is definitely on the top of the list. Have a great Friday, KE2EDS.
All right, I think you said mirrors. Gotcha. Thanks, Mark. Heated steering. I'm sorry. W9QJQ. Good morning, Keith. What's your vote? What's the one must thing when buying a new car?
I must have, but I'm thinking, I think the thing I have to have a remote start. I got to be able to start my vehicle without having to be in it, so that would be the number one thing. Everybody have a good weekend, and for those in Wisconsin, the Merle's deer hunting season, so be safe out there and wear plenty of orange. Okay, thank you, Dick. Back to net.
Remote start. Boy, I remember my first couple of work vehicles. Yeah, that was an option. Wasn't even a factory option. You had to take it to a independent. Remote start. Good. Jimmy, KD9YUZ. Good morning.
Good morning, Dick and Vicky and everybody out there on the Brew Crew. Obviously, outside of the fact of having the cash to buy the new auto, my must-have would be heated mirrors. Heated mirrors. Everybody have a great weekend. KD9YUZ. Back to net.
Heated mirrors. Good answer here this morning. Good answers. K1MCO. Good morning, Jay.
Good morning, Dick, Vicky, and everybody in the Brew Crew. Also in the Zoom room, this is K1MCO. I would like to say it's going to be tinted windows. With the weather here in Florida is brutal. It's a good set of tinted windows. It's good to have on a new car. Shooting back to you, K1MCO.
Tinted windows. Another one for tinted windows. Bill, Woodstock, Georgia. KI4EGQ. Good morning, Bill.
Well, good morning, Dick. It's KI4EGQ in Woodstock, Georgia. It's a spring-like 58 degrees. Going to be up to 75 today. I'd say what you need before you get any new car is research. You know, there's plenty of stuff to research, not just the manufacturer's site or any of the auto magazines, but the user groups, and do your digging. You'll find the good and the bad and all that stuff. So everybody have a great weekend and a great Thanksgiving. KI4EGQ.
There's one for research. Thank you, Bill. Eric, V3XTD. Good morning, Eric. This is Dick, WB2JPQ.
Morning, Dick. Morning, Betty. Where I live, on those winter mornings when the temperature's minus 20 and minus 30, remote start. Gotta be.
For remote start. Good choice, Eric. Joe, down there in Claremont, KM4WZD. Good morning, Joe.
Well, good morning, Godfather. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning to the crew. For me, it's a trailer hitch. I've got a little camper that I really enjoy. It's not big, but it's mine, and I've got to have the ability to pull that around. So I'll be down for a trailer hitch. Everybody have a fantastic weekend in 7.3s. It's KM4 WZD. Back to you, Dick.
That's the first one on that column this morning. Very good. Have a good weekend, Chuck. Or Joe, rather. Going to Chuck, Castle, Pennsylvania, W3CVE.
Morning, Dick, Vicky, and everybody on the brew there. Put me down for automatic transmission there. My days of using a clutch are over there. So have a great day, Dick. W3CVE.
Michael, Farmington Hills, Michigan, KF8EBV. Morning, Michael.
Morning, Dick. Morning, Vicky and the Brew Crew. In Michigan, the heated seats are an absolute must. Back to you. Thanks for running the net. KF8EBV.
Oh, I do agree with you there, Michael. I love my heated seats. KB3EYR. What's it going to be for you, Greg? E3EYR. Are you still with me?
Good morning, Dick. Good morning, Vicky. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened to my Echo Link. This is KB3EYR, and for me, it's towing. I got to be able to tow my trailer. Have a great day, great weekend. Back to net control.
Good question. This was an AI-generated question, believe it or not. Charles in Syracuse, New York, KD2YUY.
Good morning, Dick. Good morning, Vicky, and everybody else listening in on the brew. I'm going to continue with this current theme. I got to have tow capacity. I got to make sure I can be able to tow around my summer home. Tow capacity. 73L back to net control, KD2YUY.
Sounds like you need a big hitch to pull that summer home around. Thanks for being there, Charles. Daryl, Lubbock, Texas, KC5CZX. Morning, Daryl.
Well, good morning, Dick, and the rest of the brew. KC5CZX. For me, it's got to be cruise control. We live out here in the country, well, the sticks, and it does take a little bit to get into town. So cruise control is our choice around here. So back to net.
Cruise control it is. Let me do these last four texts, and then we're going to do some radio check-ins. We'll get a nice listen to this morning. N1CBM. Carlos, good morning.
Morning, Dick, Vicky, and everybody always present here on the ECR Morning Brew. It's Friday. Great day to be working out there. Nice temperature outside, 70 degrees. No need for heated steering wheels or heated seats, but I'm going to go with cool seats, ventilated seats. A nice little option to have down here in Florida. So for tonight, we have the UNET 8 p.m. as usual, and I have a raffle going on for all those interested. We got to have 75 check-ins in order for that raffle to be effective and valid. I'm going to pick a number from the log, and if it coincides with your call sign, you're going to be the lucky winner of the raffle. I'm not going to disclose right now what it is, but you're going to be happy using it every day. This is Carlos, N1CBM. Back to you, Dick.
Boy, nice cruise in January would go pretty good, Carlos. Thank you. Good morning to Ben. WD8CZT.
Good morning, Dick and Vicky and everyone in the Zoom and everyone on the ECR net this morning.
Kind of along the lines of what Roy, I think you need to have a budget. You need to have either cash on hand or a plan to pay for it. So hopefully you have enough, because without that, you can't have any of the other things. Anywho, it's still down here in Winter Haven, Florida. Been here for a year now, and it's nice 56 degrees this morning. Should get up to the 80s. Anyway, 70 degrees to everyone. This is Whiskey Delta 8, Charlie Zulu Papa, WD8 CZP. Good morning, all.
Thank you, Ben. Budget it is. Let's go down to South Florida. Vince, Fort Lauderdale, KR4EMM. Good morning.
Good morning, Dick, Vicky, and everybody on the crew. I'd have to go with a backup camera. I use it a lot. Although I don't trust it, I use it a lot. This is KR4EMM. Back to you, Dick. Have a great weekend.
I do like my backup cameras. They are working very, very good. Kissimmee, Florida, KI6KQO. Good morning, Zachary.
Good morning, Dick, Jeff, and Vicky, and the rest of the brew crew. I don't have it yet, but my next vehicle is going to have a large touchscreen or display screen. So everyone have a blessed Friday. KI6KQO, back to net.
Another one for display screen. I got some check-ins here. I'll just read them off. I got David in Sacramento. I got Dennis, KF4CIA. Got Glenn, N3LLY, NA2B. We got Rod, WD8KOB. Chuck, W2EM, and Randy, W2RBC. We'll take some radio check-ins. Some radio check-ins, anyone, anywhere. I'd like to get in here for the Friday edition of the East Coast Reflector Morning Brew. My name is Dick. I'm located in Eden, New York, 25 miles south of Buffalo. I'm in here with Jeff this morning, which is not my usual day, but it is my usual day from now on, KE0GKF, and of course Vicky, KE8VKY. Call signs twice and slowly, anybody, anywhere.
K4GDS, K4GDS. KO4CLD, KO4CLD.
KO4RXD, KO4RXD.
W8WHK, W8WHK.
WB8BHL Mobile. WB8BHL Mobile.
Alpha 5, Juliet Whiskey Mobile. Alpha 5, Juliet Whiskey Mobile.
Kilo 2 Tango Victor. Kilo 2 Tango Victor.
Kilo Charlie 3, Foxtrot Golf Delta Bravo. Kilo Charlie 3, Foxtrot Golf Delta Bravo.
This is Kilo Julia 5, Delta India Tango. This is Matthew, Arkadelphia, Arkansas. Kilo 4, Victor Tango, KK4, BGG, via Echo Roach Mobile. Victor Alpha 3, Kilo Tango Juliet, VA3, KTJ.
Well, it's a pretty good list. Good Good morning to Al, K8VAC. Via the text line, we got you, Al. Cedric, VA3KTJ. Bruce in Kissimmee, Mobile. We'll get back to you in a minute, Bruce. We got Webb in Collierville. KJ5DIT. Ray, Elizabethtown, we got you in here. My friend Bob in Fairfax, Virginia, K2TV. James running around Spring, Texas, Mobile. We'll get to you in just a minute. My neighbor Bob from Hamburg, KC2JZE. Big hairy legs, where you been, Ed? I haven't heard you forever. Just talking about you the other day, WB8BHL. And Bill in Fort Myers, W8WH. Got Raymond in Jacksonville, KO4RXV. Micah, KO4CLD. And Gil, Mobile in Orlando, Florida. Gil, why don't you start this round out here, Mobile in Orlando. Once again, our question is, what is one thing you must have when buying a new car? What is one thing you must have? Sunroof, backup cameras, power seats, the list goes. Good morning.
I think I'll take this. Good morning, Dick, Vicki, and everyone in the brew. I'm going to take this a slightly different direction. I would like an all-electric drivetrain. I drive an electric car now. Wouldn't want to give that up. K4GDS, back to net.
Okay, that is a little different direction. Good answer. Good morning to Micah, Tuscumbia, Alabama, KO4CLD.
Good morning, Dick. Well, I would definitely like a remote start. Where I live in North Alabama, I'd use it in the summer to cool everything down, and in the winter, I'd love to have my truck nice and warm to climb into when I don't want to go to work. KO4D, back to net.
Another one in the remote start. Raymond, Jacksonville, Florida, KO4RXV. Looks like you're not only new to this event, but new to the system. Good morning. KO4RXV, Raymond, are you still listening? Nothing moving along in as fast pace we are here this morning. Bill, North Fort Myers, W8WHK.
Good morning. It's about 60 degrees here. Beautiful morning. What I'd like, and we never had them before, well, in the last two cars we had them, they have backup camera. You have to have a good backup camera system. And in these modern vehicles, I don't know if there's any models out there that have like a permanent built-in dash cam. And that's always on. That I would think would be a real plus for a new car. So. Well, that's all I have. Everybody have a great weekend. Dick, have a wonderful weekend. And this is W8WHK, back to net control. 7 3s.
These mobiles, Vicky just reminded me I needed to scroll one way or the other here a little bit. I got my screen blown up and don't have as many on the screen. I got Ed, WB8BHL, although he's next anyway. Mobile. Good morning, Ed. How you been?
WB2JPQ on the net, WB8BHL. Good morning, and to everybody on the net and Vicky. Doing good. Just going crazy at work here. I know Gil is listening, and he can attest to that. Between all of the holiday events, Christmas tree lightings, and everything that's going on down here in Orlando, as holidays approach, I've been pretty crazy. I haven't had much time for radio, but doing well. Hope you and the family and everybody's great up there, and everybody on the net. Back to you. Backup camera. I agree 100% with what you said earlier, Dick. The neck doesn't twist around as good as it used to, so that's a thing I would like. Back to net, WBAPHL Orlando.
Another one in the backup camera category. James in Spring, AA5JW. Good morning, James.
Well, good morning, Dick and Vicky. Thank y'all for running the morning. Good morning, Brew Crew. This is Alpha 5 Juliet Whiskey Mobile. James in Spring. Mostly used it for work today. It is going to be kind of a crummy day down here. It's cloudy. It's overcast. We're supposed to get some rain. To the question at hand, you know, when I get a new vehicle, it's got to have privacy glass on the back. And then the first thing I do when I get it off the showroom floor is I take it and I go get limo tent put on top of that privacy glass. Makes it kind of hard to see out or in on the back windows, but I like to have the extra shade, and I don't really like people to be able to look in my back seat. With that all said, 7-3 handed back to net. Everybody have a blessed day and stay safe out there. This is Alpha 5 Juliet Whiskey Mobile. We'll be monitoring.
All right, Vicky's got you down for window 10, James. You have a good day and a good weekend. Let me go to Bob, KC2JZE. Good morning, Bob.
Everyone on the net, I'm thinking I'm going to go with the heated and cooled seats. And I find whenever you buy a vehicle and you do upgrades, next time you want to buy a vehicle, there's no way you can downgrade again. Have a great day, everyone. Back to net, KC2JZE.
There you go. I know you don't have it anymore, but I remember that, I believe it was a big Ford Explorer right after you retired that you bought, and it was a red or maroonish, beautiful color. It was a gorgeous car. I remember when you had that, Bob. Good weekend. Let me go to Bob at Fairfax, Virginia, K2TV. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Dick. Good morning, Vicky and the Brew Crew. Well, my present car's got all the toys, you know, but the one thing I can't do without, especially in my elderly age, is a backup camera. Got to have that backup camera. Everyone have a great day. This is K2TV.
One for the backup column. Let's go to Bruce in Kissimmee. He's mobile. KK4VTT. Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning to one. Good morning to all, especially the Godfather and everybody that makes this happen. Thank you so much. My brother told me when I was young, if you're going to buy it with all of the toys. And ever since then, that's all I do is buy the luxury edition of vehicles. What a great thing. The backup camera was made standard at a certain year. I think it was around 2015. Every car manufactured there afterwards, backup camera is standard. The only thing with all of the toys is there's more things to break down. Hey, everybody out there, have a good weekend. Thank you for letting me have some fun there, Mr. Dick. KK4, VTT. Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend.
You have a good weekend as well. Let me do a couple more of these radio check-ins. I'm going to go back up and pick up some of the earlier text check-ins that have been waiting. Good morning, Ray, Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania, KC3FGD.
Hey, good morning, Dick, Vicky, everyone on the brew. Rainy, foggy day here in Lancaster County. Because of my big garden operation, I require a SUV with a large cargo area in the back because I use it basically as a pickup truck. Everyone have a great day. Back to Dick at Net Control.
How are you? First one in that category, Ray. Nice to hear you. Have a nice weekend. Matthew, KJ5DIT.
Good morning. Today's going to be a little cloudy, a little rainy. That's okay. What my car has to have is a really good engine and transmission. I have a 350Z with hardly any of the toys, but I love the car. And it's fun to drive. So it doesn't take all the little magic things to enjoy it. But one thing that would make it a little better, I agree, would be a backup camera, because the vision out the back rearview mirror is not the best. 73.
Backup camera. Last time my mobile list before I go to some back up to the text is Webb and one WEB. And Webb, thanks for all you've been doing for the East Coast Reflector. Webb's been taking care of our groups.io announcements. Probably see them come out every few days, so he's doing a great job on that. We certainly appreciate your efforts, Webb. Good morning.
Thank you, Dick, and thank you, Vicki. You can put me down. You know, I was going to say a towing package, but I think better than a towing package, I guess that fits into your hitch category. I'd like to pull the trailer, and it's just nice to have that type of utility with a vehicle. Hey, a backup camera would be my second. And sorry I missed the Elmer Net last night. I just couldn't get to it, and I hope to get on the Youth Net tonight. And one, WEB.
We'll be back in 2 weeks, Webb. Thanks for thinking about us anyway. Let me go up to David in Sacramento, California, N6QDY. And this is Dick, WB2JPQ, along with Vicky, K8VKY, and Jeff, K0GKF.
Hey, good morning, Dick, Vicky, the Brew Crew, and everybody in the Zoom control room, N6QDY. Put me down for a four-wheel drive, a good four-wheel drive there, Dick. Hey, thanks for doing what you do, and everybody have a great day. Back to Net Control, N6QDY.
Four-wheel drive it is. I know we've been moving along pretty rapidly here this morning. Come join us. Second cup, and I promise it won't be as fast-paced, and everybody will have a chance to tell us what's on your mind and have a little bit of discussion with us right after Jeff's portion of the net. Dennis, KF4CIA, good morning. This morning, Dennis. I know I left some of you guys hanging for quite a while. KF4CIA.
Mike, hi.
6, we'd be glad to take you when we take check-ins. Glenn in Glen Burnie, Maryland, N3. Good morning, Glenn.
Yeah, good morning, Dick. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning to the rest of the crew out there. Well, after giving it some thought and waking up to a cold and rather moist 44 degrees over here in Maryland, I think I would definitely like to have my next car have a remote start. That would be a must now that I think of it. Anyway, everybody have a good day. 7-3 from me. Back to you, Dick.
Remote start. Sun City. City Center, Florida. Charlie, what's it going to be? NA2B. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dick. Everybody on the crew from Birdie and I, Tampa Bay, 66 this morning. I'd like to say everything, Dick, but foremost, I think I'd have to go along with you with the camera system, front, back, and all that. We're so overpopulated and congested that even trying to back out of a parking place is sometimes taking your life in your own hands, and those camera systems sure make it a lot easier. So, anyway, thanks for what you do. You have a good weekend. NA2B, back to net.
Yeah, especially in the parking lots, like you said, Charlie. You can't see people pushing shopping carts, and those sensors detect people and detect objects long before you can see them. Let's go to Rod. Good morning, WD8KOB. Sorry to keep you waiting so long, Rod. A big list going on here this morning.
Well, good morning, Dad. WD8KOB. Hope everybody's having a good old Friday morning. Well, this is a really hard question because there's so many good answers. But without a doubt, the number one item for me would be a heated steering wheel. Because once you have one, you can't live without it. Have a good weekend, everybody. Back to net, WD8KOB.
You got my vote on that one, Rod. I had mine on yesterday. It was only 40 degrees, but I had it on. It feels good. Chuck in Lancaster, New York. Good morning, W2EM.
Good morning, Dick, Vicky, rest of the crew. I'd have to say I need a brake controller. I have got 3 trailers with electric brakes, and so I need a brake controller. Everything else is beautiful, but that's one thing I need too. So back to net control, W2EM.
Brake controller, all right. Pull some heavy loads with that. Last on the text check-in, sorry to keep you waiting, Randy. W2RBC.
Good morning, Dick, Vicky, and everyone on the Morning Brew. In snowy Buffalo, my most important feature is four-wheel drive. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Back to net control, 73 to all, W2RBC.
Yeah, 4 or all-wheel is kind of a given here in western New York, isn't it? Jenzik, VA3KTJ. What's your vote?
Good morning, Dick, Vicky, and everyone on the net. This is VA3KTJ. My is for a cruise control. I have many other features I'd like to have, but I found myself use cruise control most of the time. Happy Friday, and everybody have a great weekend. This is all. That's for net control. This is VA3KTJ.
Cruise control. Nobody set a sunroof yet. Good morning, Al, KAPAC. You missed me yet?
Good morning, Dick, Vicky, everybody in the Brew crew. Of course, Dick. Not the same following following Scott or anybody else. Throws my whole week off. Hey, I guess I'm not really picky. In fact, to tell you the truth, I like simple rides. When I get a vehicle, usually it's a work vehicle with scaled down to hardly anything, because I know what it takes to do this stuff. But I can tell you this, until I retire, four-wheel drive. That's a deal breaker right there, because they do not plow roads after 8 o'clock, and I don't leave work till 11. So everybody have a great one. Back to you, Dick, KABAC.
weekend, Al. We're going to miss you tomorrow morning on the 40-meter net control. Stephen K2EJ is going to be acting net control for us at 9 o'clock on 7245 tomorrow morning. Roland, Savannah, KF4LMH. Good morning, Roland. I don't think we've talked before. You've been in here once before. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, and thanks for the welcome. And if y'all want, you can change my name to Mac Mike Alpha Charlie. That's what I go by. Usually if I hear Roland, I think I'm in trouble. In Brunswick for a few days, but as far as what I'd want on a new car, what I've got to have, just went through that process here a few months ago, and I would say head and leg room. Plenty of room from long legs and room from a big old head. That's about it from Brunswick this morning. Back to net control, KF4LMP.
All right. Easy entry Vicky's got you down for. And you will be known as Mac on the East Coast Reflector anytime after midnight tonight. Good morning to Mark. N0CKV.
Good morning, Dick, Vicky, the rest of the brew crew, everybody else on the net. One feature that I must have is Apple CarPlay. Everybody have a great weekend. N0CKV back to net.
That's our first one in the entertainment center. Good choice, Mark. Anna, Beaver, Pennsylvania. What's going to be, kiddo? KD3AJN.
Good morning, Dick, and everyone else in there this morning. Happy Friday. Well, I want a chauffeur to be with that car. And I want it there all the time when I need it. KD3AJN.
I thought of the two of you ought to be able to work that out pretty well, Anna. You have a nice weekend. Nice to hear you every morning. Tim in Windsor, Ontario, VE3TCS.
This is VE3TCS with a fresh hot coffee and a raisin butter tart. My next vehicle, absolutely no AI. I'm in charge of the vehicle. It does what I want it to. Back to net.
Got you down. No AI. Thanks, Tim. Jeff in Rochester Hills, Michigan, KE8SMN. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Dick, Vicky, everyone on the brew. This is KE8SMN. Boy, some things are standard today, but I guess the one thing, remote start, that's just so handy. KE8SMN, back to net.
For remote start. Got one more text check-in, Scott in Memphis, Tennessee. Then we'll do some radio check-ins. We'll get a list started here in our last 6 minutes. Good morning, Scott in Memphis, KY4NB.
Well, good morning, Godfather and the crew. Keep the answer short. The vehicle must have an engine in it. Everybody have a good Friday and stay safe. And thanks to all out there who makes this work. KY4NB, back to net.
Let's hope it's got an engine. Well, we try to make it work every day. Sometimes if you come in and see us at 6:30, 6:45 in the morning, you wouldn't think anything would work. But somehow, good Lord willing, we all seem to pull it together as a team. And we We have a great team here for all of our nets, not only the Morning Brew. I'm gonna take some. I got Jim in Easton, Pennsylvania, and I got Shane KA5GSS via the text line. Let's do some radio check-ins. Let's see if I got any mobiles. Got any mobiles out there still running around? Let's get some mobiles in if you ever got any. This is Dick, WB2JPQ.
W7OMH, W7OMH, mobile, in and out. Good morning.
NE2F, November Alpha 2 Fox, in and out.
Formal. AJ5MEL, Kilo Juliet 5, Mike Echo Lima in Austin, Texas. Jose.
No, 5, Mike Papa, Hotel K5,
Victor
MPH.
Alpha 3, Romeo Foxtrot pedestrian mobile.
Yeah, you, Vern. Get to you in just a minute. We got Michael in Brownsville, Texas. K5 MPH is also mobile. Got Jose in Austin, Texas. KJ5MEL. Wilmington, North Carolina. NA2F. Mobile was in and out, along with Mike. W7OMH was also in and out. We got Shane's going to stick with us. He was a text check-in. Well, let me go to our two mobiles here. Let me go to you, Vern, VA3CRF.
Good morning, Dick and Vicky and everybody on the net. Thanks for picking me up. Yep, out for a walk. Light rain falling. It's more of a mist, really. Right now, 44 degrees. Great topic. Dick, this is going to sound funny, but I know some makers aren't doing it anymore, but I want a car that still has an AM/FM radio. I love my backup camera, but I love my radio even more. Hope everyone has a nice day and a great weekend. Thanks for doing it, Dick. VA3CRF.
I have to give Vicky credit for this question again. She got on AI last night, and we got a whole bunch of questions. I guess we both like this one, so we chose this one last night. Thanks for being here, buddy. You have a nice weekend. Brownsville, Texas. Good morning, Michael, K5MPH. MPH. Michael, are you still with me? Perhaps he was in and out. Maybe he got to work. How about Jose in Austin, Texas? KJ5MEL.
Good morning. Good morning to all of you. Good morning to all the brewers. This is Jose in Austin, Texas, KJ5MEL. There's so many options all along, but I've been thinking for a while, what is the most important one to me? And since I do most of my work out in the field and I need to be presentable, I think it'll have to be AC. AC is number one for me. There's so many other wonderful things, the backup camera, the adjustable or cruise control that keeps the distance from other cars. So many great things.
Good morning to Jim, Easton, Pennsylvania, KD3T, or ATQ.
Good morning, Dick.
Vicky and the Brew Crew. Good time in the Zoom room last night. I've kind of learned to rely on the backup cam, so I think that's going to be a necessity in any new vehicles. Back to you, Dick, KD3ATQ.
It's a good time. We're all getting to really know each other, Jim, which is really nice. Just another addition to amateur radio, you know, to get to know each other a little bit better. Last on the list, I finally got my board cleaned off for Jeff here this morning. Oh, I've been working hard on this. Jeff, I hope you appreciate it. KA5 GSF, Shane, good morning.
This is KA5GSS. The one thing I have learned that I don't want to live without again is blind spot mirrors. Going down the interstate, they help you out. Sitting next to you, let you know you see that little light come on. And come to count on it quite a bit. Everybody have a great day. KA5GSS, back to net control. 7-3.
You go, blind spot mirrors. I don't think they're as bad as they used to be. Well, it's going to do it for me. I never got to in and out stuff. You might want to do that this morning. It's been kind of fast-paced all morning here. I'll be back in an hour. Vicky and I will be. I didn't even give her a chance to say good morning to anybody this morning. I just realized that, but we'll be back in an hour for the second cup. So please stay with us. It'll be much more slow-paced and relaxed, and we can have some nice discussion. Over to you, Jeff. Let's see what damage you can do today. K0GKF. See everybody later. This is WB2JPQ.
All right. Thank you, Dick. Nice to hear you out here on Fridays morning and working with you on the morning on Fridays. Nice, pleasant change. Good morning, everyone. This is Jeff, KE0GKF. I'm located in Omaha, Nebraska. We're starting out at 42 degrees, and the high is 43. So we're not going to vary that much, which is interesting. But tomorrow's looking at just under 70. So we're back in, making one more push again. We have Bob, Mike, and Andy came in by the text line while Dick was doing that last round of check-ins. Like Dick said, a good idea. We'd like to take IOs, people that, you know, maybe Mike shy. You know, we've had talks about this before. Let's do some at the beginning of this first hour. Come twice and slowly, please.
Kilo 4 Hotel Delta, K4HD 73.
3.
Kilo Juliet 5 Delta X-Ray Bravo. Kilo Juliet 5 Delta X-Ray Bravo. In and out.
Kilo Golf 5 Papa Delta Mike. Kilo Golf 5 Papa Delta Mike. In and out.
Golf 5 Uniform Foxtrot Romeo. KG5 UFR.
Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Kilo Echo 2, Golf Hotel Zulu, KD2, GH3, in and out.
N5GI, N5GI.
Okay, I'm going to grab it right here. Good amount of ins and outs. We appreciate all of you checking in this morning. Let's get through these. N5GI, Rick in Villages, Florida. KE2GHZ, Steve in Brooklyn. KG5UFR, Jacob in Farmers Branch, Texas. VE3TGN, Tim up in Canada. KG5PDM, Jason in Houston. KJ5DXB, Frank in Sugar Land, Texas. And K4HD, Kevin from Canyon Country, California. You guys were all ins and outs this morning. Stopping by. Let's get to the text check-ins that I was talking about. We had W2AJR Andy, N8HLN Mike, and at the top of the list, KQAU Bob in Ecorse, Michigan. Bob, good morning. One thing you must have when buying a new car, Bob, it's Fun Button Friday. Take it away.
Morning, Jeff, Vicky, and the rest of the crew. I would gotta say air conditioning. It's kind of bad without it. You don't need it much in the winter, but I swear you need it in the summer. That would be the thing. See everybody on the second cup. KQAU, bet that.
Definitely a necessity, Bob. I wait up until I can't take it anymore, then I turn on. Have a great day. Mike in Grosse Pointe Park, Michigan, 8HLN. Over to you, Mike.
Hey, good morning, Jeff, Vicky, and the crew. It's also 43 degrees here this morning on the east side of Detroit. One thing I would think of offhand is a backup camera. That has proved to be very important when I back into parking spots with my 3/4-ton truck. So there you go. 73 to all. Everyone have a great weekend. N8HLN.
Alrighty, Mike. Yeah, and it's leading the pack. I love my backup camera, too. It's leading the pack on the pie chart. Of course, with all the different answers, you got little slivers in the pie chart. Backup cameras at 16.2%. Everything else is holding at about, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10% on the pie chart. But backup's leading it at right at 17%. Definitely something everybody enjoys. Let's go to Andy at Cheektowaga, New York, W2AJR.
Good morning, Jeff. Everybody on the Brew Crew. Wow, so many things, but a lot of them come standard nowadays, so you can't get away from it. The one thing that a vehicle has to have is no subscription. You buy the thing and you get to use all the features. Back to you, Jeff.
Yeah, I have that built in. They put them in cars anymore. My car's 10 years old and had it. Was the standard XM radio. With all the choices out there and media that I have, I just use my phone and stream it that way, free. I have Amazon Music, but yeah, all those subscription-based things that some of us just don't even bother to use. Have a good morning. We have N5GI, Rick in the Villages, Florida. I think you checked in again, possibly. You might have been an in and out, but maybe this time you weren't. N5GI, Rick, good morning.
Well, good morning, Jeff, Vicky, and everybody else on the Brew Crew. No, I didn't mean to be an in and out, but had just turned the radio on and heard you getting a list, so I jumped in the list. But, yeah, I'm with you. No subscriptions. If I buy the car, I want to be able to use everything in it. And nowadays, besides Sirius XM, some cars you have to get a subscription for remote start, for Wi-Fi, you name it. So if you buy the car, I would like to get all the features and be able to use them all. Back to net, N5GI.
Can't argue with you there, Rick. Have a good morning. Yeah, no problem. I've just called for ins and outs at the hour IOs. Wanted to get in and out of there. Have a good morning. We had Bill, KR4CKC, come in, and also the Florida, like Rick we just took. Bill, good morning.
And Rick out there, good morning to you. Must have for me in a car. I'm going to be on the backup camera portion of this thing. So that's a must-have for a new car that I have, the backup camera. You'll have a great day, KR4CKC.
Yeah, we still use our rear view mirrors. You know how it is with the rear view camera, but it's nice to see right behind the bumper. God forbid there was a, child's little tricycle back there or something. We can see what's going right on behind us, and I like those little yellow and red lines. I know right when I get up to red, that's about as close as I'm going to be able to back up to something behind me if I'm backing up. Have a good morning. We're ready for another round of check-ins, everyone. It's Fun Button Friday. So let's get a good round of check-ins going. Twice and slowly for Miss Vicky, please.
Kilo, Oscar 4, Romeo, X-Ray Echo. Kilo, Oscar 4, Romeo, X-Ray Echo.
Kilo, Kilo 4, Papa Yankee November, KK4, PYN.
Kilo, Quebec 4, Oscar, Romeo, Kilo, KQ4, ORK, Mobile.
For OSU, not for Ohio State University, on Wisconsin.
Kilo, Bravo 2, Uniform Delta Bravo. Kilo, Bravo 2, Uniform Delta Bravo.
Kilo, Quebec 4, Uniform X-Ray Juliet. Kilo, Quebec 4, Uniform X-Ray Juliet. In and out.
Kilo, Oscar 4, Foxtrot, Bravo Mike. Stereo 4, FBM.
November 3, Yet Papa, I think that was Dublin. John, east of Pittsburgh, PA.
KQ4 GKO, in and out. Kilo, Quebec 4, Golf, Kilo, Oscar.
Kilo, November 4, Two-Tone Blue, KN4,
Sierra Kilo. November 2, India, Sierra Kilo.
This is Kilo, India 4, Golf, Yankee, India. Kilo, Golf, Yankee, India.
All right, we'll go with this list. Give me plenty of time to go grab a cup of coffee. Starting from the bottom up, looks like I have the reflector. I do. KI4GYI, Fred. KN4TTB, Steve. N2ISK, Bob. KQ4GKO, John from New Bern, North Carolina. You were in IO this morning. Thanks for stopping by and have a good weekend. N3JPP, John. KO4FBM. Jose, you had some noise there. So we're going to think you are mobile, so hang tight with the other mobiles we have here. KQ4UXJ. KJ, you were an IO this morning from Charlotte, North Carolina. Have a good weekend. KB2UDB, Mike. N4OSU, Jerry. KQ4ORK, Barry, you're a mobile. Hang tight. KK4PYN, Joseph, you're also the first mobile up. You're going to be up first. KO4RXE, Wendell. WB8ODF, Dave, by the text line. Let's do the mobiles first. Joseph in a pop, KK4PYN, and everyone on this list. The question again is, one thing you must have when buying a new car. Joseph in the mobile, what do you do?
Hi, morning, Brew Crew. Yeah, if I ever buy a new car, my one very simple requirement is that I don't have to drive it, and no one else around me is driving either. So I will buy a new car when we finally become autonomous, because the biggest problem with cars is people. Have a great morning. KK4PYN clear.
Yeah, I go back and forth on that one there, Joseph. Putting my complete trust in that. But, they've come a long way with it for sure. Have a good morning. Barry in Apopka, Florida, also mobile. KQ4ORK, Barry. It's Fun Button Friday.
The
everybody on the crew. Thanks for picking me up. Although I am definitely all about the recurring revenue model, being in the fire and life safety business, I'm anti-subscription. So if I do buy a new vehicle, I don't want to have to pay for any additional features as well. Hope everybody has a great Friday. Have a great weekend. 73, back to net control. KQ Fork in the mobile.
Yeah, with it nowadays, like XM and such, they have for over a decade. You just don't get it, or just don't pay for it, is what I mean. Have a good morning, Barry. Mobile safely. And to our other mobile station, possibly, Jose, you just had there. So we're going to pick you up as a mobile in St. Cloud, Florida. KO4FB. Good morning.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Vicky, and the rest of the Morning Brew. For me, I'm always in the woods hunting and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. It must have four-wheel drive. Back to you, Jeff. 73, say have a wonderful weekend, everyone.
Yes, sir. Definitely a must out here in Nebraska, too, Jose, is 4WD. Have a good one. Motor safely out there. Let's go to the top of the list. Dave, good morning in Ypsilanti, Michigan. WB8ODF, over to you, Dave.
Well, good morning to you too, sir, and Vicky on the logs. I'm going to say that I would want to have my ham radio ready to be installed. That's what I would do if I got a brand new car. Make sure it's equipped with ham radio. Thanks again, WB8ODF.
That's interesting, Dave. I'm surprised I haven't heard that answer quite a bit more with all us ham operators out there. You know, and a nice clean NMO mount, you know, permanent NMO mount in the car, you know, put a hole in your car. Have a good morning. Let's go to Wendell in Kentucky. AO4RXE. Good morning, Wendell.
KO4RXE. Waving my hand at everybody that was able to join that. Morning to you, Jeff. I'm good over in Christian, Kentucky. Thank you, Vicky. Also, I was seeing a review camera, man, and got so dependent on that thing, right? And love it. I definitely love it, man, for sure. Sipping my coffee and 73 to everybody on the Morning Brew. I was sending it back to net. KO4RXE.
All right, Wendell, have a great morning and stick around for the second cup and everyone else out there. The second cup is coming up at the top of the next hour with Dick and Vicky. It's Friday, so we know the second cup is coming up. And say good morning to Dick and Vicky and round out the weekend. Thanks for stopping by. Let's go to, Wendell, let's go to Jerry in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, N4OSU.
Morning, one and all. The first thing I would have is have an interpreter to explain all the new gadgets and everything else on the car. And also a translator. Some of the stuff is in Greek. Have a fine one. That's for OSU. We're down.
You go now. You push button. Good one, Jerry. Have a good weekend. Interpreter, that's first. Go to Mike in Sebring, Florida, KB2 UDB.
Good morning, Jeff, Vicky, and the crew. First suggestion I'd have today would be to remember those on Echolink. I was trying to get in now with Dick about 3 different times and not get in. Suggestion would be to open up to the mobile units. Enter for the Echolink as well. I know there's a bunch of stuff here. They're taking me, and with 1,300 plus miles to New York right here, cruise control. Control is my answer. later. This is TV2, UDB, Update New York visiting.
Alrighty, Mike, we got you in there. You were just a little bit in and out there. You had some, I don't know, not quite a packet type sound, but you were in and out. You were stuttering. But we got Cruz, and you have a good weekend, sir. Let's go to John in North Huntingdon, Pennsylvania. K3JPP. John, what say you?
Good morning, gentlemen, and Dick. What's got the lady's name is in the logging. Name is John, November 3, Juliet, Papa. We're just east of Pittsburgh, and I would have to say I do not have a heated steering wheel, backup camera. Okay, now when my defroster's on, I think it defrosts the mirrors, and I do have heated seats. Okay. A quick thing, I mean, if the last time my wife and I took a trip was to Savannah for a wedding, okay? It's probably 4 years ago. We rented a car, okay? And you'll find out when you drive, you're going to laugh at me. I had those heated seats not on high, but on either low or medium, okay, when you were traveling, just to keep your back loose while you're driving, okay? We drove from Pittsburgh to Savannah for a wedding. And my car only has, it's going to be pushing 4 years old. It is going to be 4 years old. We don't even have 8,000 miles on it because I travel real close to home to work. So, again, not me babbling, but I want to wish everybody health, prosperous holidays and New Year, okay? Net control, well, I think it was Vicky. I'll say good morning to you, too. 70, I'll be listening.
All righty. You have a good one, sir, and Vicky says good morning back. Let's go to Bob in Woodbridge, New Jersey, N2ISK. Fun Friday, Bob.
Okay, good morning, Jeff and crew. Yeah, well, my number one is a place to put the gas in. None of this big flashlight battery cars that are just a novelty. Life's too short to be charging your car all the time. I like manual everything. I have a truck with manual transmission, manual four-way drive, no computer control in between, and it works great and always has. It's 23 years old, so there you go. No bad race. And enjoy it.
Yeah, I was in the car business for 23 years of my 43 years of being a salesman, and in the car business we called those strippies. Not much on them, but they work. Have a good day. Let's go to Steve in Largo, Florida, KN4TTB.
Good morning, Jeff, Vicky, the crew, and Annette. Well, I'll tell you, years and years, that answer would have easily been power mirrors. There is nothing more annoying than reaching back and forth across a passenger seat to try to get just that right angle. But that wasn't until I experienced active cruise control. So, without a doubt, hit it and forget it. My car has got to have active cruise control. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and stay safe out there. KN4TTB. Back to Net.
Yes, Steve, power mirrors definitely a plus. Mine go a little bit step further even on my 10-year-old car. You push another button and the mirror itself, not just the mirror moving, the whole mirror element, the unit, folds in against the door, and I use it just about every day getting in my one-car garage. I don't heat my mirrors. Have a great morning. Let's go to Fred in Pinellas Park, Florida, KI4GYI. KI4GYI. Fred, you still with us?
Sorry. Yes, I am. Reliability on a car. That's what we need. Too many parts are going misplaced, like the poor guy that forgot to put the springs on the master cylinder return, so the rod would fall out, and then you have no brakes. Reliability. As much as they cost nowadays, you ought to get what you pay for.
Absolutely. Yeah, good maintenance on them too, and keeping up on the equipment makes a big difference. Have a good morning, sir. We had Jim, William, Gary, Doug, Mark, Greg, John, and Leo all come in by the text line while we were taking that round of check-ins. Let's add to that right now with another round of radio check-ins, twice and slowly for Vic, please.
Kilo Bravo 8, Papa Lima Victor. Kilo Bravo 8, Papa Lima Victor, Chris.
Victor Echo 3, Tango Golf November. Victor Echo 3, Tango Golf November. Windsor, Ontario, Canada.
Kilo 4, Delta India Yankee. Kilo 4, Delta India Yankee.
November 4, Romeo Hotel Echo.
Yankee, November
4, Romeo
K5, White, Mobile.
KR4. Kilo Charlie 3, Lima Alpha Victor. Kilo Charlie 3, Lima Alpha Victor.
It's for you.
W9, SAM, I'll be in and out this morning.
KD2 IWM, KD2 IWM.
KO4, BKK.
November 2, Juliet, Papa Delta. November 2, Juliet, Papa Delta.
Whiskey 8, Bravo, Papa Delta, W8BPD.
KF8, DIC. KF8, Detroit Rock City.
Okay, we have a pretty good list going here. We're going to go with this right here from the bottom up. KF8 DRC Jack, KD6LIL Jim, W8 BPD Brian, N2 JPD Dennis, KD2 IWM Tim, KR4 GIP River. Frank, looks like you just came in, KC2 JPQ at the bottom of the list via text. Make sure I get you in there. Let's see, W9 SAM. Sam, you were an I this morning. Thanks for stopping by. NW3U David, KC3LAV Mike, K4RHE Richard, looks like a new station, K5YNU Florin, W2KJV Tony, KK4DIY Gene, VE3TBN Tim, and at the top, I'm sorry, KB8PLV Chris, you're mobile on this list. You're going to be first. Also, K4ITA, K4JJK John, KJ5LJJ Greg, W5MHG Mark, W8CLG Doug, N8DFH Gary, KQ4GWO William, and W4Q Jim at the top of the list. But let's go to Chris in Novi, Michigan. You're mobile. KB8PLV, Chris, and everyone else on this list. One thing you must have when buying a new car. Chris in Novi, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on the net. I would say safety cameras. All the safety cameras I have on my truck make it a lot easier to trailer an RV, to hitch it up, to see if pedestrians are walking around, lane changes, keeping your camera on the white and yellow lines, and it beeps at you if you start to cross over a little, as well as adaptive cruise. So the cameras really play a key role, and I've really gotten used to that. Other than that, all cars are pretty fun. Everyone have a good weekend ahead. This is KB8 PLV, back to net.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, Chris. I ride on two wheels to commute, just like you do in cars. I have a car as well, but it's amazing the technology and safety features they're putting on motorcycles and what you do and all of the fun things that are on those too. Have a good one. Let's go to Jim at the top of the list in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. NW4Q, push the button, Jim.
Good morning, Jeff. I think I'd like that backside camera. You're sounding great this morning.
Well, so are you, my friend. I'm on my third cup of coffee. Maybe that's helping me this morning. Have a good morning. William in Wake Forest, North Carolina, KQ4GWO.
Thank you, Net Control. Good morning, time to the Brew Crew. Wow, it'd have to be either a van, truck, or SUV with plenty of auxiliary power, lumber equipment, and all the latest features. Take care. May God bless. Hello, Vicky. This is Kilo Quebec 4. Golf Whiskey Oscar. Right around with.
All right, you good one, sir. Thanks for stopping by. Gary in Woodhaven, Michigan, N8ZFH.
Good morning, Jeff, Vicky, and the crew. And that's a very good question. For me, it's standard cruise control. I've had adaptive, and I had to disable it. You find yourself going behind the slowest truck and wondering, why am I going so slow? Regular cruise control, I use it on side streets. I drive with my thumbs when I'm on the highway. Please check me in and out. I'm surprised nobody mentioned an electric motor. Please check me in and out. N8ZFH, back to net.
Vicky informs me that somebody did there. You and I both missed it because on my first hour, while Dick was taking the net on, was cleaning the QTH. It seems to be what I do when before my time comes around. Have a good morning. Doug in Homosassa, Florida, WA8CLG. Doug, what say you?
This is WA8CLG. Very good morning, everybody. And for me, it would be a backup camera. And Jeff, you mentioned your backup camera has two yellow lines and a red line telling you where to stop. Well, I got the yellow lines, but no red line. So I was not planning on buying a new car, but I'll have to consider that one. Everybody have a good day and a good weekend. Back to you, Jeff.
Yeah, it's nice when backing into a parking spot. You get to that red line, and, I got out and checked it when I first got the car, and it's configured right. Puts it, a good foot away or so, a foot and a half from what's behind you. Have a good morning. Let's go to Mark in Albuquerque, New Mexico, W5MHG. Mark, what's going on with you and Gracie?
Well, good morning. Sorry I missed that check-in earlier. Gracie says, bow wow, yippee-yi-yay with 30 degrees in the backyard. She'll take dog food in the back of the car, any new car. And I'd like to have a saxophone put in there. But seriously, just a backup camera And I would go for a ham radio as well, already factory installed. Thanks so much for all you do. Thanks for Vicky for putting up with us. We appreciate it. W5MHG from the land of enchantment. And you know, we love that text line installed at 73.
All right, Mark, have a good one. Which brings up, think of something, onboard Wi-Fi. Nobody said that yet, I don't think. I'm looking at Vicky for a nod, a yes or a no, but I don't think so. Nope, Vicky's giving me the no. Onboard Wi-Fi, that would be cool. Hey, you and Vicky have a good one, Mark. Greg in Purvis, KJ5, LJJ. Greg, good morning.
Hey, good morning, crew. I would say heated seats and a heated steering wheel. Man, once you got it, you can't do without it. Okay, back to you, Net Control. KJ5L or JJ, Purvis, Mississippi.
All righty, sir. We got you. You have a good weekend. Good talking to you. Let's go to John, I'm sorry, in New York. KK4, JJK. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Jeff. I feel like I already checked in because somebody gave the exact same answer I was going to give. That is the standard cruise control with the, well, I should say the dumb cruise control. I don't want the cruise control telling me when to slow down. I set it at 70, and I don't want it slowing down, so I want it at 70. So that's it, and I don't want any subscription packages in my car. Thank you. KK4 JJK, back to Net.
Yeah, hard to avoid with like XM, that little shark tail antenna on the top of the car. That's your XM. That's your little shark tail antenna. Have a good day. And let's go to Leo in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, K4ITA. Hey, Leo, you're our lucky 100th check-in. Push the fun button.
Good morning. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Vicky. Oh, great to be 100 once in a while. Good morning from the beautiful Fort Lauderdale. 77 degrees, and today no clouds. Just sunshine. Okay, I'm the electric guy, so I think following up to Gary, I believe it was. Yeah, I just want electric engine, electric motor. I'm not gonna go back to gas engine. I love this car. I have a Ford, and you get all of the above. Camera, name it. All the system has been said are coming with the car. Have everybody a great day. This is K4ITA.
But we got you down for electric car, like you said. Tim in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, heading up north. Hey, Tim, sorry about that. You checked in with the IOs that I called earlier, and you might have missed that. But that's okay. You can check in again. Good morning, VE3TG. Tim, over to you.
Yeah, good morning, Jeff, Vicky, everybody on the road there. I buy a new car with like AC and backup and cruise control. This is VE3TGN, back to the Net Control. Thanks for being there. Somebody's ready to all.
Well, Tim, it's always good hearing you, sir, every morning. And we'll talk to you on Monday with Bill and Vicky and I on the Monday morning crew. You have a good weekend, sir. Gene in Homosassa, Florida, KK4 DIY, do it yourself. Gene, good morning.
Good morning, KK4 DIY. Well, my must-have is that it has to ride quiet, comfortable, and smooth. And beyond that, everything is gravy. Back to you, KK4 DIY.
I I got it down for smooth. Gene, we'll just call you the smooth operator. Have a good morning. Let's go to one of our network facilitators, W2KJV. Tony.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Vicki. Good morning, all on the Morning Brew. I'd like to have a backup camera on my next vehicle. A multi-camera system would be great also, but backup at least. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Back to you, Jeff, W2KJV.
All right, Tony. Have a good one. My name is Jeff, K-E-0-G-A-F, with Vicky on the log, K-E-8-B-K-Y. Coming up at the top of the hour in about 20 minutes is the second cup, because it's Friday. So everyone stick around, stay connected, keep the repeaters connected, and say good morning to Dick and Vicky if you would. Let's go to Florin in Conroe, Texas, K5YNU.
Good morning, Jeff, Vicky, everyone on the Morning Brew Crew. Happy Monday. Happy Friday. Sorry about that. I was already thinking about Monday. But enjoy your weekend coming up. I have a couple of elements when I'm looking for, to have on my car. One is safety testing. Then I must have auto start. It helps tremendously in a heat and in a cold time. And a great sound system if you can hope for a stock sound system. But that's what I'll prefer. I had a last Friday, K5YNU.
All right, Florin, you have a good weekend. Looks like a new station, K4RHE. Did we get that right? Richard in Berea, Kentucky? K4RHE. Maybe it's N4RHE. Sure. Good morning. Are you with us?
This is Net, November 4, Remote Teleco. Are you calling me?
Yes, Vicky got the log squared away when I called that other station, and she figured it out. Good morning, Roger. Over to you.
K0GKF. Good morning, Jeff and clever cousin Vicky. Sound good? November 4, Remote Teleco. I've been driving 55 years and never had an accident. I like a combustion engine, naturally aspirated, with a timing chain, an all-wheel drive, and preferably an inline six, and not a first or second year model, and preferably German-made in Germany. November 4, Roger, I'm enthusiast. Return to Net.
Yeah, you find six cylinders with less timing change. You find them with belts because actually slippage is needed, believe it or not, from what I've learned in my past. But you find a lot of four cylinders with timing chains for sure. Less six cylinders. Have a good morning, Roger. Mike in Lidditz, Pennsylvania, KC3LAV. Good morning. KC3LAV, you still with us, Mike?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Finally got this thing working. Good morning to y'all, and good morning to everyone on the net. KC3LAV, Mike, Warwick Township, Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. I don't drive anymore, so I'm pretty partial to heated seats. KC3LAV, back to net. Have a great holiday week. We're clear.
All right, Mike. Have a great weekend. Stick around for the second cup. Keep it in Garner, North Carolina, NW3U.
Well, good morning, everybody on the Brew, NW3U. Thanks for having me here. A wet day here in North Carolina. But I think, I'm not sure, I didn't hear the question, David. I think I gathered from the answers what you would like to see in your next car, and mine would be the sound surround camera, or sound surround, the backup camera. Mine, one I have now, has a 4D view, and I like that very much. The adaptive cruise control is nice, but I certainly use the backup camera more. You guys have a good weekend, and we'll catch you Monday morning, NW3U.
All right. Talking to you this morning, David, and you're in good company. It's the winner on the pie chart stats this morning. Let's go to River in New Bern, North Carolina. River, good morning. KR4GIP. Over to you, River. River, good morning. Are you still with us? KR4GIP. Okay, we were unsure. We thought we heard River this morning out there clearly, but if that was you, River, have a good day. Let's go to Tim in Hamburg, New York, KD2IWN.
Well, good morning, Jeff and Vicki and everybody on the Brew Crew this morning. Well, this past year or so was my first time ever leasing a vehicle, and I learned something. To keep an eye out for good tires. I found out that there's different compound makes for the same type of tire. It depends on where the vehicle is going. And I had a set of tires that wore out in one little under a year. And so that didn't make me happy. But normally I would have said heated seats and remote start and all that good stuff. They all come with cameras nowadays. But now, next time I'll definitely be keeping my eyes on a good set of rubber. So I don't have to pay. I only had to pay half for the new ones. They at least prorated me and gave me 50% off on my next set of tires, but it still wasn't cool in my book. Everybody have a great weekend. 73 KD2IWS.
Tires are a very important thing on a car. That's for sure. Like a steering wheel. Have a good day, Tim. Let's go to Dennis in Depew, New York, N2JPD.
Good morning to everybody on the Brew Crew. That's a really tough question because most new cars nowadays, even if they're a base model, tend to come pretty all loaded out, air conditioning, cruise control, all that other stuff. But I would have to say remote start. God knows we need that up here in Buffalo. Back to net, N2JPD.
Oh, yeah. Here in Nebraska, just about on every car, Dennis. I get that one. Have a good one. Brian in Warren, Michigan, BPD.
Good morning, Jeff, Vicki, and the rest of the Brew Crew. Well, when I put the motorcycle away and I got to start waiting for that window to defrost, sometimes it could take longer than it takes me to drive to work. So I would have to go with the remote start so I can get a head start on defrosting and de-icing the windows. W8BPD, back to net control.
Yep, and jump into a nice warm vehicle as well. Brian, have a good weekend. Stick around for the second cup. Jim in Oroville, California, heading over to the other coast. KDLIL.
Yeah, good morning, Jeff, Vicki, everybody else listening. Gosh, I'm going to say a CD player. I know they're few, and it's hard to find them now anymore. They're not making them with the new cars, but I've got so many. I should use them, right? So anyway, I guess I'm going to have to be buying used from here on out if I want to. Maybe they can be ordered. I don't think so. Order special, but anyway, CD player for me. Have a good weekend, everybody. KD6LIL.
Alrighty, Jim. Yeah, with all the music subscription services, we can pull any song we want individually. It's kind of made the CD obsolete. Have a good day. Let's go to Jack at Rochester, Michigan, KF8DRC. Jack, are you still... Oh. Jack, are you still with us this morning? KF8DRC. Put Jack in as IO this morning. Jack, have a good weekend. Frank in Lancaster, New York, KC2JQ.
Good morning, Jeff, and everybody listening to the brew. With the cars today, all these choices and everything, but I still wouldn't buy a car if it didn't have a good backup camera. But I think what's really important and stuff like that, I thought way back in the 60s, and you being a car salesman, remember how they would advertise a car for sale on the commercials, and they would sell the car by how fast it would go in 0 to 60, from 0 to 60. Them were the days, I guess. But anyhow, it's TGIF. Everybody have a weekend. Do something fun. KC2PQ.
Oh, yeah, performance. You know, I can get on my two-wheelers, my sport bikes there, Frank, and get 0 to 60 in like 1.8 seconds on my sport bikes. Yeah, you got to hold on tight. Have a good one, Frank. Sal in Cheektowaga, New York, W2SAL.
Morning, Mr. Jeff, Ms. Vicky, and all the listeners out there. I want to say Roger, November 4, RHE for stealing my thunder as far as a gas engine. I prefer an accelerator with a gas pedal versus anything electric. And what's behind me, I don't care, because I'm only going in one direction, and that's forward. And don't forget, folks, tonight we want the Usenet going. We want to break a record. I know Carlos was in there earlier. So with that, I'll send it back to you, Jeff, W2SAL. Back to Net Control.
All right, Sal. We'll talk to you tonight on the Usenet. Have a good weekend. We're gonna wrap up the net here with Matthew, Terry, Donnie, Marson, Roger, Charles, Robert, Rex. I'll stand by the text line. Matthew in Hillsboro, Oregon, KC8YTS. Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning. All right. One of the features that I definitely want in my next vehicle is adaptive cruise control, and I guess an extra one would be four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. I think that'll do it for me. Anyways, hope you all have a good day. KC8YTS 73s.
All righty, Matthew. Thanks for stopping by. Stick around for the second cup in a little bit here. Terry in Austin, Texas, N5RTC. It's Speed Round, Terry.
Like Speed Round. Have Apple CarPlay, N5RTC. Back to Net Control.
Streaming music. Terry, good morning to you. Good hearing. Donnie in Jacksonville Beach, Florida, KM4CTB. Donnie.
Yeah, good morning, Jeff, Vicky, Dick in the background there. Buddy on the net. Jacksonville Beach, Florida. Well, when we were younger, Jeff, they would sell it. Walked in the door knowing we were wanting to go 0 to 60 in 1 second, but nowadays As we get older, we want the creature features. So you got to get them in packages now, though. You can't go out and pick features. You got to get this package feature. So don't mess around. Just go in there and get the top package, and that way you get everything you want, including the onboard Wi-Fi. I like that. Have a great weekend, Jeff. Thanks for doing the net. KM4CTB, back to net.
All righty, Donnie. Good hearing you this morning. You take care, sir. Stick around. Marson, good morning. N8MJN, speed round. Marson going once, going twice. N8MJN. Marson, have a great weekend. Roger in Umatilla, Florida, KO4QMM.
Well, good morning, Jeff and the Brew Crew. Let's start it out with a nice big V8. Everybody have a great day. KO4QMM clear.
Whoops, I could have had a V8. Haha. Have a good morning, Roger. Charles in Bethel, KC1, WZP. Speed round, Charles.
Good morning, everyone. For me, it's going to have to be a remote start. I work in the cold all winter long, so it's nice to start the day off good. Back to net.
All right, Charles, stick around for the second cup here in a few minutes. Robert in Deltona, Florida, KJ4CFM.
Well, I thought you were going to hit me with speed round. I'm going to say, actually, the way I hear things nowadays, I'd like to have a good sound system that doesn't get as loud as most of these vehicles that I hear nowadays. How about that? A good sound system. KJ4ZFM, Deltona, Florida. Have a blessed day, everyone.
I have like 17 speakers in my compact car factory. Isn't that something? Have a good morning. Rex, over to you, Crystal, Florida. Speed round, KJ4LXJ.
Good morning, everyone. I'd have to say remote start. In Florida, it's nice to jump in a cooled-off car. KJ4LXJ, back to you guys.
Definitely leaving the pool or the beach. Got to cool down. Have a good morning. Bill in Hobbs, New Mexico, KI5PMI.
Good morning, Jeff, everybody on the brew. Of all the luxury features and comforts and stuff, I'd have to say that backup camera is probably one of the handiest. Never knew it would be, but boy, backing up to trailers and stuff, and it's really handy. Saves you a bunch of trips in and out of the truck. So I'd say backup camera. Hope everybody has a great Friday and great weekend. KI5PMI. Back to net.
All right, Bill. And backup camera seems to be the winner so far today. It's a 2-minute warning, roughly. Let's go for any stations that haven't checked in yet. You've waited till now. You just want to get on the log and get on the logbook here for net number 1097 of the Morning Brew. For the history books, let's get you on here. All IOs in orderly possible for Miss Vicky. Come now.
4 GGZ, Kilo Oscar 4, Golf Zulu.
KD6DIQ, Kilo Delta 6, Delta India Quebec, in and out.
November 2, Papa Bravo Foxtrot.
X-ray.
Four, Papa, yep.
Charlie 0, Golf Alpha Quebec. Kilo Charlie 0, Golf Alpha Quebec. In and out.
We'll try it again one more time. KD6DIQ Todd, in and out.
Kilo Delta 5, Charlie Tango. Kilo Delta 5, Charlie Tango.
Kilo, Quebec 4, Charlie Tango Papa Mobile. Kilo, Quebec 4, Charlie Tango Papa Mobile, short time.
64. Kilo Alpha Quebec. Whiskey 4. Kilo Alpha Quebec. In and out. Good morning.
And 1YKT, and 1YKT, in and out.
KQ4 UAM. KQ4 UAM. In and out.
N4BUT, N4BUT, and KG4BUT, KG4BUT, in and out.
Okay, looks got it. What a nice list of IOs. And let's call them all off here, and then we'll send it over to Dick and Vicky. KG4BUT Grayson, N4BUT Nick, KQ4UAM Kevin, N1YKT Johnny, W4KAQ George, KC4CTP Justin, KD5CT David, KJ5MMS Jerry, VA3ERI Eduardo, KCOGAQ Jeff, N2PBF Dale, KD6DIQ Todd, and KO4GGZ. If missed, I don't call for missed on the last round of IOs. Everyone that just checked in on those IOs, have a great weekend. Puts us at about looks at about 140, 142 check-ins, roughly, something like that this morning. So a good net. We're going to send it over to Dick and Vicky. On behalf of Dick and Vicky, I am Jeff. Everyone have a great weekend. Dick will put about 20 seconds of silence in for stations that need to disconnect and connect. So everyone, stick around for the second cup. Have a great weekend, everybody. 7-3, KE0GKF clear.
Well, thanks, Jeff. It was a fun net this morning. I enjoyed that, hearing everybody's answer. Thanks to you, Jeff, and Vicky, of course. Good morning, everybody. Again, this is Dick, WB2JPQ, along with Vicky, K8BKY. We'll be doing the second cup here today. Last week was kind of slim on the second cup, so let's see if we can get our numbers up. One thing we might want to talk about here this morning is we're talking about doing more than talking about it, a New Year's Eve net. We're going to have, Grayson's going to start us off at 8 o'clock, and I have to talk to the rest of the kids to see if they want to do a half-hour segment. I believe River does. So we're going to start with the kids at 8 o'clock and work on right through till into New Year. We'll get as many net controllers of our net control team that would like to come in and do a half an hour, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. So that's something we got planned for New Year's Eve. So mark that on your calendar. If you're looking for something to do, not going out, put
an adult beverage and come into the Zoom room and have New Year's Eve with us in there, and we'll also be on the air. Kind of a fun thing. Vicki and I have been kind of doing it for the last, I think, 3 years, and we've had a good time. Hasn't really been advertised, but this year we're going to advertise it and have a regular net schedule and so forth. So anyway, I'll take a bunch of check-ins. I'll get Vicki, didn't give her a chance to say good morning to anybody here on the morning brew. I guess I did all the talking. We were kind of fast-paced there this morning. Jeff really had me hopping. Well, hey, do you have any mobiles? Any mobiles like to get in here for the second cup this morning? This is Dick, WB2JPQ.
Kilo November 4, Romeo, Romeo Delta, mobile. Kilo November 4, Romeo, Romeo Delta, mobile.
My little buddy Grayson, I can't let you be in and out. I got to say good morning to you. Also got Scott in Orlando. KG4BUT, you probably just heard me mention you're going to be up first on New Year's Eve at 8 o'clock, and we're looking forward to it. Good morning, Grayson. Are you on your way to school?
Yeah, I literally just pulled into the school here, so, yeah, what was the question for today?
We don't really have a question on the second cup, Grayson. We just, whatever's on your mind, and we were talking about New Year's Eve, which I said you're gonna be up first at 8 o'clock on New Year's Eve for a half an hour. We have a good day at school, and we'll see you tonight on the Youth Net.
Back to Houston, please. KG4BT 12.
Grayson, right to the point. You have a good day. We also got a few text check-ins. Bill came in, and KC1TLF, and Bob from eCourse KQ8U. But first, let me go up to Scott in Orlando, KN4RRD. Good morning, Scott. You've only been in here, looks like once before on the second cup. Looks like David there, KC1TLF, is new to the second cup. Anyway, good morning, Scott. What's on your mind this morning? And if you're not doing anything on New Year's Eve, do you think you would come join us on the East Coast Reflector?
Well, good morning to everybody on the net. I'm running some errands early this morning, enjoying the wonderful weather here in Orlando. Ready for the weekend, and wishing everybody such a dream, and we'll try to get on this net more often in the future.
A little bit shaky into .8 there in Orlando this morning, but we got everything that you said. And yep, this is the second cup. We do it every Friday following the morning brew. Morning to Gil in Orlando, K4GDS. Good morning, Gil. K4GDS. Gil, are you still with me?
Well, if I unmuted my mic, it would probably work a little bit better. Working from home this morning, as I typically do on Fridays, allows me to check into this net like that. And I'm kind of excited about that New Year's Eve net. If there's an opening for the open mic night guys to get in there, I'd love the chance to get a few minutes to this net control. Understand the direction you're going with that, but open to opportunities as they come along. So have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys later on. Maybe 3:30 I'll drop in the Zoom room. K4GDS, back to net.
I'm going to try to accommodate everybody, Gil, as many as possible. Need to talk to the kids tonight, like I said. I need to get them up front, find out what's going on. We can kind of fill in from there. So thanks for being there. David, KC1TLF. Looks like you're new to the net. Welcome. And what's on your mind this morning, David? KC1TLF. David, are you still with me? He was a text in. How about you, Bob? Good morning. KQAU, what do you got going? Getting all ready for Turkey Day?
Morning, Dick, Vicky, and everybody on the net. Yeah, we're kind of ready for Turkey Day. This just lives around the block and trying to get my leaves finished. But I like the idea of a New Year's Eve net. Wasn't it a few years ago? I was actually transmitting for 1 year right into the next. I think that'd be a good idea. I just got to finish out some outside work and everything else all caught up. Have a good day. I'll be on the Unet tonight. KQAU, back to net.
Yes, Bob, it was. I remember that. It was 59 2 years ago. You started in whatever year it was. And time to get done talking, it was already the new year. So, yes. So, it was a lot of fun. We'll have fun. Especially with the Zoom room, we'll all get as many as we can in the Zoom room. I know last year it was pretty full. We had a great time. Good morning to Walter in Hollywood, Florida, KE4NTG. Good morning, Walter. What's on your mind today?
Hello there, Dick, and to everybody else on the net this morning. Just got back from a nice breakfast with some of the troops out there from the club, and went shopping and came home. I'm looking forward to that New Year's Eve net. We'll definitely be there. I don't go out anymore. My wife and I just decide to stay home until the people that are drinking out there on the road is not worth it. So we just sit at home, and that would be perfect for the New Year. So looking forward to that. I hope everybody has a great day, and everybody take care of themselves. This is KE4NTG. Back to you there, Godfather.
It will be fun, Walter. Like I said, we have had fun the last few. Excuse me. My voice is still not back to normal yet, but we're getting there. Rex just popped in from Crystal River. Good morning, Rex. KJ4LXJ. What do you got going on today? What's on your mind, Rex?
Good morning to you and everybody else on the second cup this morning. Just doing some things around the house, finishing up some shopping for Thanksgiving, and the wife has a big Christmas party every year, so we're getting things ready for that, getting everything all hung and in place like she likes it every year. So that's our plan probably for the weekend and the next week or at least. So KJ4LXJ, back to you guys.
Yeah, we said that last night during Ask the Elmer, being Elmer. We didn't have quite as many as what we had expected and what we've had other weeks. We figured it was just the holiday season. There's so much going on. The stores are packed. Vicky was in the store yesterday. She said the stores were packed, so you know how that goes. Let's take some check-ins. We'll get a list started here this morning, and I'll let Miss Vicky get in here this morning and say hello to everybody. So. Anybody, anywhere, twice and slowly. And boy, I don't know how she pulled some of those out this morning, but good job. I think when we started this morning, they were about 6 deep in line when I did the first call-up for general check-ins. We were hearing 5 and 6 stations at once. It was unbelievable. Anybody, anywhere, twice and slowly. This is Dick WB2JPQ.
Delta 8, Mike Golf November, Kilo Delta 8, Mike Golf November, mobile.
Whiskey Bravo 8, Foxtrot, Whiskey Bravo,
WBA
Whiskey Bravo 8, Foxtrot, Whiskey Bravo, short time. Kilo
Kilo Charlie 1, Victor Quebec Sierra, KC1 VQS, Paul in Maine.
N6QDY, N6QDY.
Kilo Delta 5, Charlie Tango. Kilo Delta 5, Charlie Tango.
November 4, Romeo Hotel Echo. November 4, Romeo Hotel Echo.
Alright, so hold up there. This is Vicky, KUBKY, and we've got Roger, N4RHE, David, KD5CT, another David, N6QDY, Paul, KC1VQS, Dave, WB8ODS, Jeff, WB8SWB, and at the top of this list, then we'll start with Kurt, KD8MGM.
Good morning, Vicki. This is Kilo Delta 8, Mike Golf November. Sorry, just turning on the radio. What's the question today?
Well, you're after the second cup, so no questions. Just whatever's on your mind, or just to say hello.
This is all prepared for a question. Thanks for running the net. Appreciate you being out there. KD8 MGN, back to net control.
No problem. Have a good day. Next up is SWB8, SWB.
Well, good morning, everybody. And to you too, Vicki. Not a lot going on here. Getting ready for Thanksgiving holiday. I get to spend it with my family that's in this part of the country. So I'm looking forward to that. But Colorado's a long way for me to go right now in my shape. So, I hope you all have a good holiday. If I don't talk to you all, and I don't really have a lot more to talk about today. So back to you, Vicki. Thanks.
Thanks for stopping by and enjoy your holiday. Next up, Dave, WODS.
Good morning, Vicki and Dick. This is Dave, WB8ODF. I'm in Ypsilanti, southeastern Michigan, and I am about 30 miles due west of Detroit. I don't really have anything on my mind, just enjoying two things. The morning brew and the second cup here, and your ingenious logging software. I just logged into it again. 2 thumbs up. WB8ODF.
Thank you. And anybody that wants to watch the logs, you can go to bit.ly/ECR logs or to eastcoastreflector.com and go to each of the individual events. And once you get in, if you look down at the bottom, there's a bunch of tabs you can jump to right here at the net. Thanks, David. On to Paul, KC1VQS.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I'm Paul. I'm located in the central part of Maine. We currently have 29 degrees and cloudy skies. Some slight traces of snow around, but most of our ground is bare. It was covered last weekend, but it kind of melted slowly during the week. And it's been cold this week, colder than it normally has been. I just stumbled across your net this morning. I've never been on here before, but it sounds really interesting, and I understand I think I heard it correctly that you're here every Friday morning, the second cup. I'll definitely come back and check it out again, and I really like the sound of your New Year's Eve net. I was on one last year that was kind of an international thing, and I checked in a few times throughout the day and in the evening. I think that's an interesting thing to do on New Year's Eve. My wife and I don't go anywhere usually, so
I'm going to try to check that out too. So with that, that's all I have. I'm going to turn it back to Net Control. This is KC1VQS.
I'm glad you found us. Yeah, we're here every Friday from 9 to 10. And for New Year's Eve, I think we're starting at least 8 o'clock. Just kind of depends on how many net controllers we can pull up. Thank you, Paul. Next up, David, N6QDY.
Hey, good morning, Vicky, Dick, the second cup, and everybody in the Zoom room, N6QDY. Yeah, I think this is going to be my first New Year's Eve net to check into, so I'm looking forward to that. I'll be on call anyways, but it'll be fun. And great job on the last magazine, Vicky, and all of them, of course. Appreciate that. It works out for me because I can go ahead and just use the audio, just put it on the voice audio while I'm doing, and I can turn up the volume and catch everything. Let's see, look forward to the Youth Net, and have a great day. Thanks for doing what you're doing. M6QDY, back to you.
Thank you, David. Yeah, all the magazines, there's an audio version where it's read to you on YouTube at East Coast Reflector on YouTube. Sorry. And the magazine is at eastcoastreflector.com/magazine. Thank you, David. And on to another David, KD5CT.
Good morning, everyone. This is Kilo Delta Bot, Charlie Tango, David here in Converse, Texas. Man, this morning's been a good morning so far. My doggies woke me up, and thinking about trying to train them so they don't wake me up so early. But other than that, I hope everyone out there have a good holidays, and remember, reach out to those you know who may be stuck in the home, sick, or whatever the case may be, with no family. Try to wish them happy holidays. This is KD5CT, and I'm back to you, Net Control.
Absolutely, and have a good weekend. Roger, N4RHE.
KE8VKY, good morning, clever cousin. Thanks for serving a second cup, November 4, Romeo Teleco. On my mind, yesterday I championed my electric stove, only to later receive notification that Florida Power and Light have been granted permission to increase rates by the highest amount ever. Earlier this week I got my flu shot, so I am ready for the New Year's Eve net gathering. Also, another must-have for my car is, at 73 inches tall, the ability to comfortably sleep in it, if necessary. And the Germans do currently make an inline six-cylinder with timing chains. Feel better soon, Godfather. November 4, Roger Ham Enthusiast, return to net.
Thank you, Roger. Maybe you can take it outside and use it as a charcoal grill. And at 63 inches, I can pretty much sleep anywhere. Sal, W2. Sal.
I already said good morning to the Brew Crew, but I'll say good morning to you guys as well. Looking forward to tonight's Youth Net, and hopefully we can break a record here again. We'll talk to you later. With that, I'll send it back to you, Vic. W2, I say all clear.
Thank you, Sal. This is Vicky, K8VKY. Taking more seconds, twice in forward, please.
Back to 4, Juliet, Delta Juliet, KQ4JDJ. Kilo 4, Juliet, Juliet, Kilo. So Alpha 3, Kilo Tango Juliet, DA2, KTJ.
All right, we've got Jenswood, VA3, KTJ, John, KK4, JJK, Deer, KQ4, JDJ, and Roy, KA8, BYU. Roy, you're first, KA8, BYU.
Everybody on the second cup, KA8BY. Just kind of sitting around here and waiting. We're having a building inspection today, so I'm kind of stuck here in the apartment between 9 and 12 until they get here. Hope to see everybody on the Youth Net tonight, and then on the Trivia Net tomorrow. Back to you.
Pick it up for a second. Thanks, Roy. I know you'll be there New Year's Eve. You might have been there last year, if my memory serves me. I know Dave, hopefully Dave ODF will be there, some of the regulars. Where am I going? I'm going to KQ4JDJ. KQ4JDJ. Looks like you're new to this, not never checked in before. Good morning.
A little technical difficult later. We got that taken care of. Next up, John, KQ4, JJK.
Okay, Vicki, good morning. My employer just changed my work schedule, so I'm working 4 10-hour days. So I have Fridays off, every Friday. So that's pretty cool, I thought, until I woke up and then I found a honey-do list, and I'm in the middle of those things right now. You know, Dick, you probably remember this old Army commercial where it says, we do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day. Well, that's how I feel right now. KK4JJK, back to net control.
You can always pretend it's like that. Just like VA3, KTJ.
Vicky, Dave, and everyone on the net. I just have one question. The other day I tried to buy coffee mugs from East Coast Reflector drop page, and I couldn't put my shipping address because it was only take U.S. address because I'm not sure whether it's still they can answer this question, but is there any way for Canadians to buy anything from ECR front page?
I thought it was already set up just for that, but we'll look into it and get back to you. Yeah, we'll look into it sometime today and we'll get back to you. Thanks very much. And next up, Terry, N5RTC.
Good morning, Vicki, Dick, and everyone else enjoying a second cup this morning. Couple of things. Number one, I think it would be fun to talk on New Year's Eve. So if you're thinking of doing a net that night, late night, early morning, I'll be there. Number two, last night was my first night in the Zoom room for Ask an Elmer, Be an Elmer. And although, as Dick mentioned earlier, there weren't as many people there as he expected, I think there was a good exchange of information, and it was just a fun place to hang out, talk to many of the people who we hear on the net every day when we participate or at least listen. So I would certainly suggest that others who may not have been there before try again, or try in 2 weeks to join us. And if they've been there before and just don't participate, we'd love to see them in the Zoom room for Ask an Elmer, Be an Elmer. Vicki, back to you. This is N5 RTC.
It was good to have you. The Ask an Elmer is the first and third Thursday at 8 o'clock. Basically, come in, ask questions, help answer questions, or just kind of hang out and listen and learn. And that's at 8 o'clock. You can go to bit.ly/ECR Zoom. Next up and last on this list before we take more check-ins is Theo, K4ITA.
Good morning. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning. I'm sorry, I have a small problem here. Good morning, Dick. K4ITA Leo from Fort Lauderdale. And I like to, when I can, I like to check into the second cup. Relaxed, nice idea to do it. And what can I say? Well, I want to just say thank you guys. Thank you for what you're doing. I definitively believe that the East Coast Reflector is the best group, the best platform of AM radio, about radio. Anywhere. There is nothing like you guys. You are doing a really good job. There is nothing like this in Europe, and as far as I don't know United States, but I don't think so. You are really doing a great job, and just keep going. And I agree with the Zoom room. Yesterday I didn't have time to check in, but it's a very nice time to spend together. Well, yeah, thank you again, and talking again soon. This is K4ITA. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And have a good weekend. This is Vicki, K8BK out the second cup, taking more check-ins twice as slowly, please.
82 IWN, KB2 IWN.
All right, we'll go straight to you, Tim, KD2 IWN.
Good morning, and Dick in the background there, listening in. I just want to quickly reiterate from this morning's question that the one feature that I want on a car wasn't just plain tires. I know it's like a steering wheel, as Jeff said. My point was to have good tires. It was my first time leasing. I've had used cars my whole life. My wife's talking me into leasing a vehicle, so I got a new 2024 Bronco Sport that I leased, and I was just so enamored by having a new vehicle that I really didn't look at the tires close enough. And I wish I would have, because 1 year later, into a lease, they were wore out. And I've never, ever had that. Usually I replace tires every 2 years. But this time, it was 1 year. And I found out, even from the dealer, that they use different levels of compound in a tire when they're coming to a dealership for new vehicles. They're softer They're a softer compound, so that way when you're in it, it feels smooth and it's quiet and it's nice. And, oh, isn't this great? But they wear out a lot quicker. I wish I would have known that. I would have looked for a more aggressive tire. So I had to buy some, but at least they paid for half of it. But anyway, that being said and out of the way, yeah, I mean, the Zoom room stuff on Thursdays. Thursdays is tough for me. I'm very busy usually, but I'll give it a try one of these days. This weekend, having an estate sale at my mother-in-law's house at 20 Brookwood Drive in Hamburg, New York, and 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So I'm going to be busy at that. My hunting season went along pretty good. Got a nice buck with a bow. My son got one with a shotgun up here in New York. So we're doing that, and that's going pretty good. But you guys do a great job here running a net and keeping everything together and making sure ham radio survives what it has to survive these days. So everybody enjoy your weekend. I like to be part of it. 73 KD2IWS.
Thank you, we appreciate it. And the Zoom room is actually open 24/7, and it's usually, and you're actually welcome to stop by when we're doing nets also, because we run the nets from the Zoom room. You need to be quiet during the nets, but you're welcome to hang out. Okay. I'll see if anybody else is out there. If more check-ins, twice and slowly, please.
No more check-ins? Where's everybody go? Dave, he's still there, WB8ODF. Dave just texted me and said he's going to be on board with us on New Year's Eve. Dave, we'd love to have you.
Yes, sir. I'm still here listening, and I will be there on New Year's Eve, so you can count on that. If in my dreams. WB8ODF.
I have to ask you, do you still have that popcorn maker?
Yes, sir, I do. It's cleaned up and nice and shiny right now, so I can pop us all some corn on New Year's Eve. And I see that Mike, K2CMT, logged in. That's because I'm on the log page. Love it.
He said he kind of accidentally keyed up, but his note came up, so I'm going to go to him. Thanks, Dave. We look forward to making popcorn. Good morning, Mike, K2CMT.
Morning, Dick. I got up at 4 o'clock this morning and joined the Insomnia Net on HF out of West Virginia. To tell you, I'm making all the rounds, Dick.
Vicky said there is a 12-step program for that. I'm glad you're enjoying that, Mike. Enjoying HF. Well, that's what I should do. I've been having trouble sleeping at night. I guess I should get up to get that frequency. Come down here, and I used to do that. I couldn't sleep. I'd come down and get on whatever was open. Who else is out there this morning? Who else wants to say hello on the second cup? I know our check-ins have been kind of the last couple of weeks. I don't know if it's the holiday or if it's get so many on the morning brew that everybody's burned out. So who else we got out there? Anybody anywhere? Come say good morning. This is Dick, WB2JPQ.
KFA, ESN Mobile, KFA, ESN Mobile.
Papa.
NY2 US. NY2 US.
Whiskey Delta 8, Papa India Charlie. WD8PIC.
November 6, Delta Tango. November 6, Delta Tango.
KI4ZS, KI4ZS in and out.
There's some people waking up. Good morning to Don, KI4ZS. Looks like you're never been into this net before. You were in and out. Good morning to you. Same with Richard, California, N6. Oh no, you've been in here before, twice. N6 DT. Good morning. Hey, Sylvania Bob. Good morning to Bob, Jim, and Livonia. Got Joe. We got Scott in Houston, and Patrick. Mobile this morning, Oak Harbor, Ohio. Patrick, I have no idea where that is. Tell us where that is. KF8 ESN. Good morning, Patrick. And what's on your mind? We were talking about we're going to have a New Year's Eve net on the East Coast Reflector and in the Zoom room. So mark your calendar accordingly.
Morning, Dick and Vicki and everybody else on the net. So Oak Harbor is on Lake Erie. We're about halfway between Toledo, Ohio and Sandusky, Ohio. Most people would know Sandusky for our large amusement park known as Cedar Point. I'm trying to make it on New Year's Eve. We'll see what happens. Never, some nights I'm not able to stay up that late, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, back to the net.
Patrick, I started double with you there for a minute. There you go. I do know where it is. Very familiar with Cedar Point up in there. Nice area. Thanks for being here. Yep, keep us in mind for New Year's Eve. We'll be talking about it between now and New Year's Eve. Scott Houston, good morning. N7FGP.
Good morning, Dick and Vicki. Well, I'm not in Houston anymore. We finally made it here to Jamestown, New York, and we just actually got here maybe a week and a half ago. Anyhow, big storm when we were on moving day, so yeah, greeted with 7 inches of snow about, so that made moving fun. But we're here now, and I'm just getting everything all set up in my shack and trying to make it all nice and warm for the winter. Back to you, Dick.
We were just talking about you the other day, and we had forgotten the call sign. We knew somebody was moving from Texas up to the Jamestown area, but it had been a couple months and we forgot. So, well, at least you got here. It's all good news. You're now in Western New York, and you can get together with some of our Western New York functions that we have. Love to have you, Scott. Welcome to New York. Jim, Livonia, good morning. NY2US. What's going on with you today, Jim?
Good morning, Dick. Good morning to the group. Haven't been on in a while here. I just turned the radio on, heard somebody talking about tires, and I was up last night on the computer looking at tires for the Pacifica and got too tired and I had to go to bed. But I got to get a new set for that and revisit that whole thing and try to get something that's good in the winter and quiet in the summer. It's going to be a tough one. So that's where we're headed with that. And I have to replace the base antenna for VHF UHF on the house. I think the one I've got up there is starting to go, and I have a spare, so wait for the decent weather day, which was yesterday, but I didn't take advantage of it, so we'll see what happens there. And a few other things, but those are the primary things I got to get through today anyway. And some repeater work over the weekend I got scheduled. So back to you, back to net control. WB2GPQ from NY2US.
These all-weather tires and stuff. Remember the snow tires, Jim? Oh, Shane put snow tires on. change them, you know, in the spring, take them off, put them on in the fall. I used to have chains. I can remember my good friend Dick Milanowicz, W2CY in Hamburg. If I couldn't make it home, if I couldn't make it up the hill here, I would stop at his place. We'd pull into his garage, and I'd put chains on the car so I could get home. Only those days are over. Good morning, Bob in Sylvania, Ohio. WD8PIC. What's on your plate this morning? Bob, what's going on?
Well, first of all, sorry I didn't make the morning brew. I was listening to a couple of very interesting conversations on 40 meters between 7 and 8. And then my roommate, we always do a couple of word puzzles in the morning, and I have fun with that. You have to put various, you get 16 words in groups of 4, and you have to put the 4, the categories together. And unfortunately, 1 or 2 of them were visual this morning, so he had to help me out a little bit. But anyway, it was fun. And there were some words in there that I didn't even know the meanings of. That I've heard of them, but I never. So anyway, we were having all kinds of fun. I was listening for a while. I used to stay up late and get into the 75-meter groups, but because my antenna hasn't gotten fixed yet, I can listen, but I can't transmit. So I listen, but I don't transmit. And it looks like my antenna might not get done till spring, darn it. I was kind of hoping I could get it done. If it was just 2 trees, but the steep roof is holding it up, so I'm hoping it'll be able to get done in the spring. I got nothing that I know of going on over the weekend. Yesterday, my friend, I got a 32-inch wreath that I put out on the side door to my garage, and the way my condo is oriented, you can see it for a long ways. I live on a circle, but I'm on a part of the circle where it you can see a long ways down the street, so people can enjoy it. And I've got it from dusk till dawn with a light sensing timer, photocell type deal. And everybody loves it. It's very colorful LEDs, and I've gotten a lot of compliments on it over the past 5 or 6 years, so I put it out, a little bit before Thanksgiving and leave it out till sometime in January. That's my contribution to the neighborhood. And Mike's going to be back on Saturday to do a couple of small things for me that are a little bit difficult. I got to change the batteries in an outdoor thermometer sensor and a couple of other things. And then church on Sunday, where I'm reading. I'll be reading Psalm 105, first 12 verses. Anyway, back to Net. I'll be reading it in Braille for the people that don't know that I'm totally blind. I can thank my parents for that wonderful gift. And whatever else happens over the weekend. And of course, I have to remember to check into the 40-meter net on Saturday morning. Back to Net, WD8PIC.
Well, it sounds like you got a lot on your plate for the weekend, Bob. Thanks for sharing that with us. And yes, you mentioned the wreath. Everyone, Vicky's looking for Christmas pictures for the magazine. Stick an HT in a wreath or take a picture of your Christmas tree, anything Christmassy. Whether you got your shack decorated up, we're looking for pictures, so just send them in to us, anything Christmassy. Let me go to California. Richard, N6DT, good morning.
Good morning, this is Rick N6DT. I'm coming in to the East Coast Reflector on the repeater phone,
I like using it for some of these net check-ins because it's very difficult for me to step on somebody else. I can't activate the app unless I have a clear signal to the node. So anyway, I'm just listening today. I just thank you very much. I'm kind of looking forward to the New Year's Eve group. That sounds like. But 73s, everybody. I don't have a whole lot for that this morning. Actually, I'm going to tell you that since I'm on the West Coast, I'm still laying in bed doing this, which is one of the nice things about having your repeater phone. So you all take care in 73. This is N6BT. I'll be listening.
All right, did you say Rick? I just changed your name from Richard. You said Rick correctly. Is that what you go by, Rick?
Roger that. Yeah, I go by Rick. Richard is the name I get used by various people over the years to yelled at. Haha.
I go by Dick. My real name is Richard, but only my mother called me that, so. Alrighty, we got that changed for you. And yeah, that is an issue. Mike brought that up this morning. I get going pretty fast on the brew this morning, and we forget to take a little standby for our Echo Link stations, which you're on, because they do need a clear channel to beat up on. I got to make a mental note of that. We all do. We forget about it. Mike was always good at that. He always called for Echo Link stations. So put that on our wish list. All right, who else do we have? Got a few more minutes here this morning. Got anybody else want to come in and share their day with us? This is Dick, WB2JPQ, along with Vicky, KE8VKY.
November 8, Mike, Romeo, Sierra. November 8, Mike, Romeo, Sierra.
Good morning, Mike. N8 MRS, Norwood, Ohio. Well, tell me where Norwood, Ohio is. Good morning.
Good morning, Dick. Good morning, Vicky. Norwood, Ohio is a suburb of Cincinnati, southwest Ohio. And it's gloomy here today. We're supposed to get rain this afternoon, so I think I'm going to stay in and just play on the radio all day. Anyway, that's about all I got. Y'all have a great day and a great weekend. And I'll turn it back to Ned. N8 MRS.
Your hands over IP phone sounds great. Don't seem to get as many since Ham Shack Hotline. We had a lot of people that use Ham Shack Hotline. I don't think a lot of them changed over. We don't seem to have near as many hotline users as what we did. All right, we'll make this last call. I need to get out of here this morning. I know Vicky's been sitting there since 6:30 as well. So anybody else like to get in this morning and say good morning to us before we close the net? This is Dick, WB2JPQ.
This is WR0U, KE2EES.
5 Whiskey Hotel Bravo.
There's 3 more. Good morning to William, K5 WHB. Morning again to Mark, KE2EDS. And Scott, WR0U. Good morning, Scott. Where are you? You're up in the New England states. How's your vacation going with your family?
And WB2JPQ in group here from WR0U, Portable 1 here. So, yep, everything's going great up here in Connecticut. So we're just waiting for it to warm up here a little bit so we could go play on the playground down the street here, or do the, we got a Power Wheels Jeep here. Grandma bought one, and so we got it all refurbished here, and so we've been doing lots of four-wheeling around the neighborhood here, so we're just kind of waiting here. Other than that, just kind of hanging out, listening to the East Coast Reflector, and kind of remote controlling back to my station back in Iowa there. So right now I'm up on 12 meters FT4 here, working up into Europe here. So back to you guys there, W2JPQ and the group from WR0U.
Maybe we'll hear you on 40 tomorrow. I think I'm going to be able to make it. Al is off tomorrow as Stevens and K2EJ is net control. So it'll be net control will be coming from a little different area. So might change things. So Steven hears and talks very well, so he'll no doubt will do an excellent job. Good morning to Mark again, K2EDS.
Well, good morning to you again, Dick, and good morning again, Vicki. Not much planned here. Gonna spend some time with my parents. They actually have them over now. Being a little bit behind, the boys spent a little bit too much time in the store this morning, so they're still eating breakfast. But I wish everyone a great day. Hope to hear everyone tonight on the Usenet, KE2EDS Clear.
Yes, the Usenet tonight. We're not sure what Carlos has got going, but he's got a prize, something he dreamed up, and I know he's got to have a bunch of he's got to have a lot of check-ins in order to do what he wants to do. So we're not privy to all the information. This is his rodeo, so we'll have to all stay tuned tonight and see what he's got up his sleeve. K5WHB. Good morning, William.
Good morning. Good morning to the net. Yeah, we're enjoying exceptionally warm weather down here, and I'm trying to get off my outdoor ham radio projects, kind of herded up, kind of like herding cats, but having some success. Just put the echo link on the computer here so a lot of people get to enjoy that. Other than that, it's just the same thing, different day here. We just twist wires and melt solder. That's K5WHB out.
That's what it's all about. I had an old friend down in Florida, had a shop, and he came in and he did the same thing. Put a couple resistors and capacitors together every day. And he used to say, just come in here to melt solder. Excuse me, losing my voice here. And, I think he did that right up till the day he died. He just was a great old guy. Well, that'll do it for us. Thanks, everybody. Be thinking about New Year's Eve. I know it's a ways off already, and we got a lot going on between now and then, but come join us on our New Year's Eve party here on the East Coast Reflector. Thought we'd get the word out today, and it sounds like the people are interested in it. Have a good day. Come, please join us on the Youth Net tonight, the Trivia Net tomorrow night at 11 o'clock with Alex and Vicki. See you soon, everybody. Thanks, Vicki. This is WB2JPQ.
VE3TCS Mobile.
One late check-in. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm running out to pick up the trailer, bring it home, and cover it, and leave it for the winter. So, anyhow, everybody have a good weekend. VE3TCS. Back to you, Dick.
Well, Tim, we'll talk to you on Monday.
The system you're listening to is connected to the East Coast Reflector. Please join us this evening at 8 p.m. Eastern for the East Coast Reflector Youth Net.
BJP Mobile.
Calling into the repeater again. This is Kilo Romeo 4 Echo Juliet Delta.
Calling into the, so this is Kilo Echo 2 Bravo Juliet Papa, Linda, near Plattsburgh, New York.
Kilo Echo 2 Bravo Juliet Papa. Is that correct?
Only getting a very small part of your transmission, I think the end of it. It might be me, I just reset up all my radio stuff in my vehicle, but I don't know if you can try again. I'll see if I can catch more. Over.
I just remember that this repeater, I guess, has a bit of a delay when connecting to the reflector. Can you hear me now?
I didn't catch you. I heard a key up, but that's all.
November 8, November India Foxtrot. You were loud and clear of the second.
Also 73s, I guess if you can still hear me. 73s, I guess this repeater's not connected too well. Kilo Romeo 4 Echo Juliet Delta, clear as a reflector.
Romeo 4 station, you are loud and clear in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Copies the last two 100%.
Juliet Delta, can you still hear me?
Romeo 4. Kilo Romeo 4 station, you are loud and clear into Grand Rapids, Michigan. November 8th, November, India, Foxtrot.
Be one of the farthest contacts I've made. This is Kilo Romeo 4 Echo Juliet Delta KR4 EJD in Jacksonville, Florida.
Definitely warmer than in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So right now we're having a beautiful day of 46 degrees and very cloudy. Back to you, Jacksonville, Florida.
Here it's pretty warm. I wish it could be cooler. Although not a lot of people would say the same. But yeah, thanks for the quick contact. I actually didn't know that this repeater was hooked up to the reflector. I'm like, how is this getting all the way to Michigan? Yeah, 73s, thanks for the contact. Kilo Romeo 4 Echo Juliet Delta, clear.
Thanks for the contact. November 8th, November India Fox. And I'll be mobile standing by.
Plattsburgh, New York station. This is W4 PTZ. Are you still out there?
Your call sign, but I am still out here up near Plattsburgh.
Yes, this is W4 PTZ, Whiskey 4, Papa Tango Zulu.
For Papa Tango Zulu. You sound loud and clear here. I was wondering if I was getting through at all. I reset up my radio. I had to take everything out because I was getting my vehicle serviced and put everything back together, and I wasn't sure if my connections were right, but I'm glad I got through. How do I sound from where you are? Over.
You're loud and clear coming into Valdosta, Georgia. I contacted you because I was actually born and raised in Plattsburgh, but I left there in 1983 and joined the military, and other than visiting once in a great while, I kind of stayed away from there.
Yeah, understandable. It's not my favorite town, but I'm more of a country person, and my address is actually about an hour's away from there, and I have a little piece of land there, and so out in Paul Smith, out the other side of Saranac Lake. So, but yeah, Plattsburgh's a place to go buy things because there's no stores closer to me. Not very many anyway, so. But yeah, Plattsburgh repeater works great for the East Coast reflector. And it's really nice. I can hear somebody from Georgia on VHF, which is great. I've been playing with HF lately. Just got into it, and I've totally abandoned all my VHF stuff because I've been diving into the HF and hearing a lot of Georgia voices, but none of them sound as good as this repeater coming through on the East Coast reflector.
Unfortunately, none of our local repeaters carry the ECR, so I'm coming in through All-Star and a node. But it works well, and I enjoy it. I started out doing DMR and then kind of moved away from that a little bit because this just has more versatility. But no HF yet, but one of these days.
We do have some DMR repeaters around here, and that is the only digital mode I have. I don't do very much with it, but I have an HT for DMR, and I actually like it better for how it works with VHF. It sounds really good, but so I haven't done much with that. Mostly just playing with HF and making antennas and all sorts of things. I just got my general license, just got it last December. Time flies, but hadn't done anything with it until a few months ago, and I've got to use radio, and I've been Googling how to make antennas, and I've been making lots of wire antennas and having a good time with it all. I can do a lot more experimenting, I think, with HF than with the VHF.
Oh, another techie, just like me.
Yeah, I'm limited a little bit by, subdivision for HF, so for now it's going to be technician type stuff and all-star and the like. I never did get your call sign. Can I get that, please?
Might have lost you. I'm traveling away from the repeater, so I'm going to say 7-3 for now. Thanks for picking me up, and just so you know, there's plenty of snow in Plattsburgh, so you might be glad you're in Georgia. KE2BJP.
And that's the number one reason why I don't live in Plattsburgh anymore. All right, thanks for the conversation. This is W4PTZ. I'll be clear.